What's up, Cradle fans? So, I had a couple ideas for videos today, and I didn't go with any of them. I was originally going to make a video rehashing in video form a post I had written 6 months ago about the cataclysmic event that happened in the Aurelius homeland. I still want to make that video, but as I was preparing to, I was reading the word of the Abadan archives, and I read this bit about Ozriel, and then like a bunch of connections hit, and I realized Ozriel had he's got a tragic story uh, that I want to talk about here for a second, because I don't know if it's been brought up before. So let me just go through this real quick. Ozriel is on a mission so important to him that he's willing to leave his post to try and make it a reality. His mission is to save people in worlds where they wouldn't otherwise have been saved. Okay? So let's backtrack that a little bit. The first time Ozriel touched the way, he was in a farmhouse and he was furious. Okay? Why is someone so powerful enough to touch the way? Why are they in a random farmhouse in a field somewhere? Furious. Doesn't make sense, right? You know, Ozriel is a superpower. He does all this crazy stuff in his life before ascending. He's in a farmhouse. My thoughts are someone very important to him, someone that he loved dearly, died. And he didn't have the skill set to save them. Because Ozriel is good at everything except for one thing, healing, which is why he respects the Phoenix division so much, because they are the only ones that can do things that he cannot. Now, how do we know Ozriel had a family? Well, obviously, there's a whole Aurelius branch. And if you go all the way back to Ozriel, the original patriarch, the bloodline ability had to come from somewhere, and the only way that it stays is if it's passed along through children. So he had to have had a family. So my guess is he had a family, and either like his wife died in childbirth or something tragic happened to him to cause him to just lose it. He accessed the way, led him on some crazy campaign to get stronger so that he could maybe revert time, get his family back. You know, that burning desire for getting his family or to finding his family or healing them or whatever, burning desire, pulling on the way. Something weird happens. Hunger Madra is a thing. Hunger Ore is a thing. I don't know. This is where it gets wonky. I'm not going to get too far into it, but bro's got a sad story. So talented, loses someone important, loses it for a second, accesses the way, decides he wants to go on a big campaign, joins the Abadan, thinks he can make a change, tries to make a change. Makio won't let him, so he keeps trying to do things his own way to save people, to the point where he circumvents the Eladari Pact, leaving behind a marble to inspire one of his brethren or his descendants to rise up, leave Cradle, and don't join the Abadan so that you can save people that he can't. So that other families don't have to go through what he went through. Because if the Abadan weren't a part of the Eladari Pact, someone might have been able to come and save his wife or his family. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'd never heard anyone talk about that. Everyone just wants to talk about how his scythe likes to eat up iterations. But the pieces are all there to tell part of his story, and it's a sad one. So I think it's going to be very interesting when he becomes more of a centerpiece of the storyline to understand his motivations and what drove him to do what he does. and his connection with Subject 1 and the Labyrinth and Hunger, Aura / Binding / Madra. It's going to be fascinating. But I think it all originates from a tragic event that happened in that farmhouse. And now I'll jump over to I'm going to just show you how I find all these different passages. And I'll show you the evidence. So we'll do that now. All right, everybody. I'm going to freeball this again to kind of show you how I find things, in case you want to find things on your own. So I'm going to talk through some of the places where the Ozriel stuff is. So the place where we learn where he, in fury, like in a fit of fury, first touched the way, that is in book 1. So we're going to search farmhouse. It's probably the only place in the book. Farmhouse. Oh, man, I screwed this up. There's like a house in the field. Anyway, where he had once developed his own pillars, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The country home, buried beneath a meadow now, where his fury had first touched the way. Okay. Now we're going to pop over to the Word of Will, which is in the Abaddon archive. Actually, I think I was just on it. Man. Bloodline. Alright. So could Lyndon learn all the dragon paths, blah, blah, blah. There's a way for someone born without bloodline powers to acquire them. You have to find the same sacred beast they got their powers from. So the Aurelius family got their powers from a sacred beast. That is not what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. How did the bloodline powers originate? Not everyone inherits a bloodline legacy. Higher level sacred beasts can take human form. So some people have sacred beast lineage that gives them certain innate supernatural abilities. That includes the Aurelius family, but not the Jai clan. In most cases, a bloodline legacy means you're naturally inclined more toward one path. Anyway, so Aurelius bloodlines. Then we know, first of all, we know Ozriel had that bloodline ability because he's like, if you've inherited my sight. That is in Skysworn. So we'll go. I wonder how many times in the book it says my sight. 1. Convenient. You have inherited my sight. To you, the world is open. You can step out of Cradle. So we know he had the bloodline ability. Alright. I'm going to go back now. I don't know why this doesn't just automatically. So now we're going to look for Ozriel respecting the Phoenix. So Ozriel respect Phoenix. Ozriel would Ozriel because he's good at everything except healing. So let's see. Anyway, I mean there you have it right there. I'm sure somewhere in here where it says that Ozriel befriended both because he respects them because it's the only thing he couldn't do. But yeah, Ozriel because he's good at everything except healing. He's good at everything except healing. The one thing that his family needed. Poor Ozriel. All right, what else did I bring up about Ozriel? Well, I mean, I could go into the books and show you that he wants to, save people. I mean, I'm already there actually, so screw it. All right. In the hopes that one day it might bear fruit, I need you to join me. Not as Abadan. I want to raise you outside their rules. I want you to go where I can't, into dying worlds to save those we have abandoned. So he probably felt like his family was abandoned. Perhaps at one time, many millennia ago, Cradle was dying. Maybe that's why the Dread Beasts were created. Who the hell knows? But Ozriel has had a sad go of it. So that's it. You know, I honestly, it's probably harder to find this stuff if you don't just remember where it is in the books. But the more you read through the books, the more you've reread them, the more you'll find all this stuff. Pretty easy. So anyway, let me know what you think. What do you think of Ozriel? Do you think I'm onto something here with his, sad, upsetting backstory that's motivated him to go along the paths that he has gone on? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, I guess. Uncrowned in 28 hours. 28, 29-ish hours.